through that whole process, we started taking in kids. And our first kids were 3 brothers. Their mom had passed away of AIDS, and they came to our front gate. And it was just phenomenal to see these kids come into an orphanage where they had never had a bed to sleep on, they'd never had underwear, they'd never had a consistent meal. One of the things we see with all the kids when they come in is they come in and they'll eat and eat and eat and eat because they think it's going to stop. So today, this week we took in 2 more kids. If you'll see them down there. They're both boys, 10 and 7. You remember their names? I wrote them down. It's Iverson. Was it? Okay. Iverson and somebody else, his brother. Iverson's brother. You'll meet them down there. They just came in. Their mother passed away. One of the most incredible servants of our church. She would come in and she had nothing. But she would come to our church and literally bend down and cut grass all day long. All day long. And she wouldn't take any money for it. That was her service to the Lord because she couldn't do anything else. And she passed away just this past week. So we took them in. But the idea of the Hope House is very simple. We want to give them a home. We want to raise them up. We want to send them to college or technical school. And then we want to send them out to change Haiti for Christ and to have a successful life. Some of you have been to church. If you haven't, church is the center of everything we do. The Bible calls us to make disciples. That's why we do what we do, is to make disciples of the people of Haiti. We believe that leads to them having a blessed life in the Lord. So we want them to know who Jesus is and have that relationship like we found, because that's where they'll find peace. We have over 1,000 people come to church. Has Pastor Claudel been up to worship with you? No? Okay. You were at Tuesday night, though, I think. But if you saw him at church, he's an incredible worship leader. It's Ruben's brother, older brother. But we're very blessed to have them. We have an incredible team at the church that's ministering. We've had 2 of our church members that are going down, or have been going down to General Hospital, where the majority of patients were at, and they were just ministering and passing out food. So we were very blessed by what God's doing at the church. We have the hospital that before the earthquake we were seeing about 50 patients a day. Post-earthquake we're seeing 200 to 250 a day. Some of you have seen the operating center that we have. Dr. Hurt here was your team 1, right?
Yeah.
You set it up.
Part of it.
You did. Don't be immodest. This is the guy that came with all the equipment, his team. And we're just very blessed to be partnered with Texas Orthopedics and the churches down there. They have, in Austin, they've been phenomenal. We've been, do you know what our surgery count is?
I don't know, it's probably 250, at least.
Yeah.
300, I don't know.
Yeah, 250 or 300 people that we've been able to do surgeries on. It's funny because I knew before the earthquake, I knew so little on surgical terms. Now I feel like I could just go in there and not do surgery, but at least pass something to them. But revisions and stumps, and I mean, it's stuff you hope you never know, but we know now. But God's done phenomenal things through the clinic. It all started with, I spoke in Oklahoma City one time. A family came up to us afterwards and said, we want to help. They ended up giving us $500,000 to start the whole project. That's the Green family. They own Hobby Lobby. I say that to say if you have to choose between them and the other competitors, shop at Hobby Lobby. Because I know what they do with their money, and they are givers. They're incredible people. But we started that, and the vision is very simple, to minister to the people of Haiti through medicine. And the way we do that is through community health, teaching them how to be healthy, clinical. What you see there is when mom and dad have a sick baby, they can bring them in and treat them right then. And then the third leg is the operating in the hospital side of being able to actually treat things that aren't going to be able to be treated in the clinic. God's been using that in a mighty way. Before the earthquake, we had never done an operation here, and now we've done almost 300 of them. One of the exciting things that we're doing with Texas Orthopedics is we're putting in a prosthetic center. So there's thousands and thousands of people that have lost their limbs through the earthquake. And before that, there were thousands and thousands here that never had any hope. So we're putting in a place that will not just fit people, but will actually make the prosthetics and then also do therapy. In Haiti, it's survival of the fittest. And if you lose a limb, you're at a severe disadvantage from even just being able to work or do anything. So by giving them their limbs back or an artificial limb, now all of a sudden they have hope and it's also an incredible time of being able to minister, just to be able to talk to them and give them that hope, but also meet with them. So we're excited about what God's doing through the hospital. The last thing I want to share just briefly about is the big warehouse you see here. A year and a half ago, God gave us a vision of uniting the ministries in Haiti to become an organization or a vision called Haiti One. Haiti One is not an organization, it is a vision. And it's a conglomeration of missions all over Haiti that have come together and said, hey, we want to use our strengths to help one another so that we can see Haiti really change for Jesus Christ. We have over 60 organizations that have become a part of that. That's where this food's going out to. We've been able to see over 100,000 meals a day leaving our warehouse since the quake to go out to our partners that are Haiti One partners. So we're very excited about what God's doing through that. Where we go from here, our vision hasn't changed. Our vision is very simple: win Haiti for Christ and see it change, to bring a life transformation to every man, woman, and child in Haiti. That's our vision, is the life transformation. The way we're doing that is through our education. The government gave us 55 acres of brand new land that we're developing, or starting to develop. They were supposed to develop it now, but we're moving there after we get some things done here. On that piece of land, we'll have a school, an orphanage, an older folks home, but we'll also have a retreat center. It's right on the ocean, so we'll have a retreat center on it. We plan to train 4,000 teachers in the next 2 years there, and hundreds of pastors that are already pastoring. We're going to bring them in, and it'll be a part of our initiative to touch 10% of Haiti's population in the next 2 years through healthcare, community health, through education, nutrition, and agricultural development. So we're excited about that project as well. Right here at the mission, where they're clearing this spot down here, that's going to be a basketball court for the Hope House kids. We're also going to have inline hockey in it. It's going to be a covered pavilion, so it's going to be beautiful. Below that is where we're going to put our new guest house. Because of you all wanting to come and many more groups, we want to be able to accommodate you better. So we're going to have a guest house there that will hold 100 people with a dining facility. And the reason we're doing that is because we believe in the next 2 to 3 years we're going to see a wave of people come through that can really help us reach that vision of touching everyone in Haiti for Christ. And one of the ways that we're doing that is we're starting in June with we're going to start to build 500 homes in this area for people that lost their homes. So we're going to have a lot of teams coming through to help us do that. So we're excited about what God's doing here. I hope that you sense God's doing something, because it's an honor for us to be a part of what we feel like He's doing. And if you have questions, please ask them now. I forgot something. We have 180 full-time staff. We have 9 or so North American staff here. And one of our principles is trying to be as much Haitian-driven as possible. That's why you see so many Haitian people here. It is Haiti, so that's the reason we're doing that. They can change the country much better than we can ever change it. We don't put North Americans in the leadership positions. We place them alongside Haitians, so that they're co-leading or they're right under the Haitian, just helping with vision.